What's packing, everybody? It's your host, Godchild, the first of his name, and this is the What's Packing Sports Show. And today we're going to be talking about the press conferences that were held on Wednesday, where Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams talked about their future, their present, and the mystery of the future, and how they're just trying to focus on the present. But the thing I think is different about Adams and his comments and Rodgers is that this is all kind of new for Adams, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he didn't even expect to be unsigned at this point in the season. He probably thought he would get signed and get that lovely extension in the offseason. But money don't grow on trees, and the Packers are in a terrible cap situation. So I think that they had to wait until the cap increased to even think about how they're going to approach the Adams contract situation. But aside from that, I really want to break down what Rodgers said when he was asked by Jason Wilde about cherishing the time he has with the Packers now and if he is going to leave. And Rodgers basically said it's not it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could retire. He said that he's going to take, when the season's over, he's going to sit down with his loved ones and family and the coach and the front office and talk to them about it. And when he makes a decision whether he's going to commit to the Packers after this season or not, he's going to make it quickly and not drag it out. But the interesting thing that I found about that conversation is it's funny that Rodgers basically blamed the Packers in the offseason for not committing to him long-term by drafting Jordan Love. And by the way, and not only just drafting Jordan Love, but because the way his contract was set up after this year, after 2022, I think, right? Or maybe even after this year, there was no more guaranteed money. So he basically kind of blamed the Packers of making him a lame duck quarterback and having no real commitment to him. And it's kind of ironic that he blamed the Packers of not being committed to him when I would argue that they were totally committed to him. And that the drafting of Jordan Love wasn't to say, like, we're not as committed to you as we have been in the past, but it's to say that we know that, like, your time is almost up, bro. Like, you're under contract until you're 40. You said you wouldn't play until you were 40. We see a guy in the draft that we think could be the next Packer great, but he needs time to develop. So it's a perfect opportunity. Like, our team is really fucking good. We went to the NFC Championship 2 years in a row. There's not that much that the Packers needed to add to their roster to make them a Super Bowl caliber team because they were fucking already, obviously, excuse me, a Super Bowl caliber team the last 2 fucking years because they went to the NFC Championship game. Like, I don't even know why Aaron Rodgers felt threatened by the Jordan Love draft pick in the first place. Because it's like, if you, like, you're Aaron Rodgers, you understand. Like, if you just would have put on the tape, you would have been able to say, this kid's not ready. They didn't draft this dude to replace me. They drafted him to be my heir apparent. Like, and that's honestly, if Aaron Rodgers would have just taken it like that, I feel like none of this shit would have happened. But instead, his insecurities came out, bro. His insecurities came out, and all that bullshit he be preaching about enlightenment and acceptance and love and blah blah blah. Like, I don't think he's really living that. It's just some shit that sounds good. He's saying because he thinks that's what will help endear him to people. But I don't think he's really living that stuff. Because if he was, I don't think he would. I don't see how all of this shit would have been an issue about him getting drafted, about Jordan Love getting drafted in the offseason, and him saying like he might retire and causing all of this drama. Now the other interesting thing about it is he was asked about Adams and Adams being the best player he played with and how he said that on McAfee's show. And when he was referencing Adams, he didn't say he was the number 1 receiver in the NFL. He didn't say he was top 2, not 2. He said he was the top 3 receiver in the last couple of years, which seemed weird to me. It's like, why would you frame it that way? Like, top 3, like, he's clearly number 1. So why would you say top 3? And then when Adams was asked about whether he would be whether the Aaron Rodgers situation, would, like how big of a factor it would play into his decision. He said it's not the end all be all, but it's something he's gonna keep his eye on. And to me, that just means like it really depends on the Packers. If the Packers come correct and they offer me the money I think I'm worth and the contract that I like for the years and the terms, then honestly I could care less about what happens with Aaron Rodgers. But not less, because I'm sure he cares. But so what? You paying me? My family has generational wealth now. I'm good. But if they don't come correct with the contract numbers and the terms, I think that's where it could be more of a, well, what's up with Aaron? Is Aaron leaving? If Aaron's leaving and they only want to pay me, they don't want to pay what I feel like I'm worth, then shit. Me and you, let's just roll. Let's just go somewhere else. Maybe y'all just fucking trade us to Miami or to Pittsburgh or whatever, and that shit'll be all good. But the real issue that I have with Aaron Rodgers and all his comments is that like he's taking on this victim mentality. Like, well, it's all out of my hands. There's nothing I can do about it, which isn't true. If it wasn't for him reacting the way he reacted to Jordan Love being drafted, none of this would have happened. And I don't even think that the Packers organization, like I said, were planning on replacing Aaron Rodgers. They knew that their team was a really good team, and they were like, look, we don't really have that big of holes. We're kind of missing a bit. Like, we have a hole at middle linebacker, a hole at quarterback, like in the secondary, and that's really it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have a lot of pieces that need to be added to this team. So it's like, even though they drafted Jordan Love, it's like it was not to replace you. It was not a direct threat to you. It was like more like a luxury pick. Like, we feel like our team is so fucking good. We don't need to spend a first round draft pick on somebody that's going to help the team this year. Like, we think, like, we know that you're going to pretty much get out of here in the next 4 or 5 years. So we're going to draft a guy who's like a 3 or 4 year project. So, I mean, I'm shocked that Rodgers would even say like this stuff, as far as like him saying like it's not decided yet, and he has to sit down with people and figure out if he wants to be committed. He said though earlier this year he was committed to the Packers, and the problem was, like I said, we thought the problem was that he felt like the Packers weren't committed to him, but he was committed to the Packers. But now all of a sudden, 6 months later, not even 6 months later, yeah, maybe like 6 months later, 5-6 months later, now it's like he has to decide if he's going to be committed to the Green Bay Packers after this year, after he forced them to void the contract years, the last 2 years of his contract, and bring back Randall Cobb and do all this stuff. It's like, bro, you got to decide if you're going to be committed to the Packers. What? I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck is wrong with you where you see this major issue with the Packers that you can't be sure if you're going to be committed to them? And it's like, if you're not sure you're going to be committed to them next year, how are you even sure that you're committed to them now? Just seems a little fishy to me. But I want to know what you guys think about the press conference, about what Adams had to say, about what Rodgers had to say. Do you think Rodgers is going to be a Packer after this year, win or lose the Super Bowl? Like, I want to know what you guys think. Same goes for Adams. You know, should he be the highest paid receiver? Will he be the highest paid receiver? If he leaves, will Aaron leave? If Aaron leaves, will he leave? Adams already said himself that it's not like the end all be all, but he will monitor it. But I feel like we all know that these athletes are not always honest in their press conferences. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. It's going to be drama, a lot of drama, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot to talk about. So like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, you know, all that. Retweet it for me. You know what I'm saying? Just help a brother out. Support me. I appreciate you. To the next show, go, Pack, go. And remember, the Bears still suck. Peace.